Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! Grab a cold one. It's Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Oh, I got you, Nate. Shot in the head. Oh,
Oh,
you actually
well,
shot me in the head.
yeah,
I think I got you.
I
like
didn't
in the
mean to.
chest.
I got so distracted by this label.
We haven't used the.
I zoned the hell out there.
We hadn't used the guns in so long. I figured we'd bust them out, and man, they maybe they've chilled for so long that spring is really working pretty good. I don't remember them shooting that well.
I don't either.
We digress. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown on Blacksburg. Great place to head on down there and get yourself some beer. These ones actually came from a little further away. This past weekend, I went down to Charlottesville. Wanted to see me some Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, is that why you went?
Yeah,
I thought it was just to get beer.
well, no, not just to get beer. Also, other reasons and stuff that I'll get to eventually. But I did go on a little bit of a beer run, and I just popped a beer that I've never had before from Hardywood. It's the Tropication, a juicy, hazy IPA. And I'm going to read the synopsis on the side here because that's what I was trying to read during the open, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. But bursting with tropical aromatics from a bodacious blend of Citra and Mosaic hops, Hardywood's Tropication, copywritten, presents a cloud white head and sunset hues through a veil of delicate haze. Assertively dry hopped, Tropication offers heaps of mango, I like, passion fruit, I like, and citrus character with a decidedly smooth finish. Relax and enjoy as your palate drifts off on an exotic escape. Now,
Like
here's one
ocean
thing.
sounds.
I don't know if you can pick up on it on the Facebook or the YouTube if you're watching the video, but there is a good, I'd say, half an inch of floatiness on the bottom of this. So I don't know if I should swirl that around so that it gets evenly distributed or just save it for you for when we're playing the song and then you just get all the awesome bottom bits. But
I always take that as a good sign.
I think it's gonna be
I got
delicious.
very distracted during the open, as I'm sure you had already like opened your bottle and shot me by the time because so this is the hoptimization from Brothers Craft Brewing and of course out of Harrisonburg. It's a 7.1% ABV India Pale Ale from Brothers, and well, they got this cool little truck with a giant hop in the back of it. If you're watching on the video, you can see. And I don't know what it is about my brain, but I was immediately drawn to the license plate, and they are definitely going to get pulled over. Giant hop aside, the license plate, the tags expired in 2013. Granted, this is just a drawing, but that's where my brain went, and very excited
that is pretty funny
to try this one. But I just got so lost. It's like that's way expired. So I'm wondering if 2013 isn't significant to Brothers in some sort of capacity, because I feel like you don't just do that by accident.
If I had to guess, that might have been the year they came
opened.
to be existing. I guess a quick Google search might tell me such a thing. But the reason I grabbed these beers, Brothers Brewing. Oh, wouldn't you know?
2013.
No, I don't. I haven't gotten that far. It's asking me my age. Yes.
Oh, I love that one.
Beer Me, of course. Every website.
Like, what am I gonna do on that website? I can't. Beer, it has yet to be able to come straight through a computer screen into my mouth. It'd be awesome if it did, but.
So it says they began production December 2012. So I think it's safe to say that maybe when the
got
brewery opened or something. Yeah,
cracked the first bottles. Okay,
makes perfect sense.
I like that. I mean, I also like what they're doing with the label here. It's just very like simple art. The truck is a. I mean, obviously it doesn't have a make and model, but it does have, it says Bros, where you would put like if you had a Bronco, which is kind of what it looks like, one of the Bronco pickups.
So the reason I picked out these beers was because I have a map of Virginia. It's like made of wood and has like spots for bottle caps. And so I'm always looking for bottle caps that I don't have from breweries. And so anytime I always check the Virginia section of craft beer at wherever I might be drinking. And in this case, these actually came from a place I've never been beer shopping before, because I think I've only ever been in one of them one time, Wegmans. So I don't know if you've been to a Wegmans. There's one in Charlottesville.
Killer beer selection.
We went to get a couple other things, and somebody did mention that they had actually a pretty decent beer selection. And I would say, as far as grocery stores go, it doesn't get much better. So yeah, so from Brothers, I do have Brothers. I have Brothers and Hardywood already on the map, but I don't have the red Brothers cap, and I don't have this specific because if you'd have to find it. I shot it at you, but the Tropication, I think it had a specific Hardywood Tropication cap, which I know that Hardywood does that. I know I have like one of their pills on my map as well.
Got the sweet palm trees on there.
Yeah. So with these, I think once I add these to the map, I'm only going to have maybe 4 cap spaces left, which that's pretty good because I mean, I don't know how many's on there. It might be like 30 or something like that.
Then you have to branch out and get the rest of the country. I feel like Alaska's is probably pretty scarce.
My country map is actually in the RV, and I have about half of those done. But yes, I have not gotten Alaska yet. The rule of thumb with that one is you have to drink the beer in the state.
I like that.
I still have quite.
So Virginia is real easy.
Yeah, I'm not even going to have Virginia on that map. Probably, I'll just have, because the East Coast, as you can imagine, there's so many states that there's not enough room to have the cap actually fit on it. So it's a wasted space on the East Coast, the valid East Coast allotment of space on that map.
Well, I mean, you've got the full Virginia map anyway,
exactly.
So
got tons of bottles. Either way, so we went to Wegmans when I was in Charlottesville. Another place, beer worthy of mentioning. Obviously, Beer Run, I would say, is a lot of people know that's the main beer spot. We didn't make it out there for a couple of reasons, but the spot that I went to that I do want to mention was for some pre-show beers. We went to a tap house called Sedona. Now, Sedona had a wonderful beer selection, including, I think I had some Aslan's, some Vasson Brewing beers. I even had some on tap that were amazing. I definitely got good and toasted because I wanted to try so many different beers. And the food was great too. So I highly, highly recommend if you're going to Charlottesville. And the other thing was great was it was walking distance to the JPJ. So we went there, had some beers, got some food, and then just walked a few blocks over to the venue for the Greta Van Fleet show. So it's a way to do it.
I always love like that. That's my favorite thing when I go to a place I'm not at often. I mean, Charlottesville, grew up around there, so I'm a little more familiar with it. But like when we go on trips like that, like it's always like just happenstance that we find stuff, and I love doing it that way. That's like our story behind ending up at Hopfly was just randomly, hey, there's a brewery, let's go in.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, had you researched Sedona at all?
Well, I hadn't personally, but the people, I was staying with my my friend Scotty and his girl Divine, and she's kind of like my wife, a big planner. And I think she had already figured that would be the spot because she knows my love for craft beer. Scotty is also heavily into it. And that was just the perfect pick because it was, like I said, all of the above,
so
good
convenient
food and right there. Like,
yeah, you can't beat that.
Knocked it right out of the park. The sound at the JPJ did not knock it out of the park. I was not too thrilled with how the show sounded, and therefore, a little disappointed. Also disappointed in the craft beer selection at the JPJ. Against my better judgment, I figured when in Rome, I tried the Wahoo craft beer from, I don't know who's did all the different ones. There was like 3 different UVA beers and one was a cider. Tried them all garbage.
Wow.
There's something about
the blue and orange.
Yeah, well, it just makes sense because, I mean, frankly, I know that there's, we got similar versions of that here in Blacksburg, but why? And I know why, but all the school beers are usually pretty bad, and I
Yep.
think it's because they know it'll sell if you just slap those
Just slap
colors
that
on.
label on.
It's gonna sell, but
Oh,
man,
I
wish
wonder-
I'm waiting for one of them to be good.
I wonder what comes first, the garbage beer or the slapping the label on, because you gotta we got this lager. It's so. Let's just slap a hokey bird on there, call it a day.
Yeah,
I mean-
it'll sell like hotcakes if you do that.
And the shame of that is the one that I'm specifically referencing is an amazing brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I mean, you're over
Testament,
there-
yeah.
yeah, you're over there drinking
If
one.
this was the Fighting Gobbler, I would be
I-
very happy.
Just yeah, it's marketing at its finest, and it always blows my mind. And I'm shocked that so many universities are just okay with it too.
Yeah, well, and it wouldn't have been okay just even a few years
Yeah.
ago. I mean, heck, Lane Stadium just started serving alcohol in the last couple of years to to the general, I guess, ticket holder.
See,
so
speaking of, Radford University is sleeping on getting in on that
that great revenue.
that trend, because you could make a rowdy red ale and it would just be perfect. You slap that ridiculous rowdy red mascot that they brought back on there, call it a day.
Well, not only that, the Highlanders. You could
Yeah.
a nice Scottish ale.
The Scottish ale,
would
like
be fantastic.
there's
With the
so
plaid
many-
on there. Oh man,
so many avenues you could take with it.
yeah. There's no doubt about that. But either way,
Call us.
Yeah, go ahead. So Charlottesville, just like it was here, and I imagine pretty much all across the East Coast, it was raining the entire weekend, which was a bit of a damper, but it actually worked out well for where I went to watch the Tech game and drown my sorrows while I was watching it. Because, and I didn't know this was the thing. I don't know if they do it at the Blacksburg location, but we wanted pizza because we're going to do a 10-mile run the next day in the rain. That's a whole nother story. But we went to Mellow Mushroom, place to watch the game. They got some craft beer, but apparently they do a rainy day special. So if it's raining out, you get $1 off drafts,
Oh, nice.
which that's pretty awesome. Once I found that out, I had no idea until Mike came in, who he actually went to the show with us the night before, and was just like, do they still do that rainy day special thing? I asked the bartender, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. And there was a sign. Finally, we saw a sign on the wall. It wasn't on the menu, but it was on the wall. And we were like, heck yeah, let's get a couple bucks off these
Yeah.
drafts. I was there because then we even ate dinner. I was at that Mellow Mushroom for probably at least 6 hours. It was a long
Now-
time.
Were you guys the only ones watching the game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We
wonder
were.
about that.
It was a 3:30 kickoff, so we roll in and it's practically empty. And pull up a spot, asked to get the TV switched, and then as you would imagine, it started to fill up maybe closer to dinner time. The game wasn't over yet. Somebody asked, like, "Hey, can we switch?" No. I don't care if we're down by 30. You're not changing the. I've been here a lot longer than you, buddy. You're not taking my TV away.
We were at a friend's housewarming party during the game, and so like with the way their party was set up, like people were just like streaming in throughout the whole party, and of course it was going on during the game, and every time like someone would walk in, you could just hear their frustration, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Once they look at the score, and yeah.
it's like, well, it's the TV that's right there when you walk in. We were downstairs with watching all the kids and stuff, and I think we ended up watching the Auburn game instead.
It's probably a little bit more interesting. Well, we digress. That's a story for another
That's why we
day.
got beer.
However, yes, I am enjoying this beer thoroughly from Hardywood, the Tropication. I might just go ahead and untap it. It's a juicy IPA. I don't think I mentioned 7%, which is nice and hearty. You got to give them a little bit of love. You got the fun.
I love the short bottle.
The short. There's got to be a name for this. It's the best thing. I
I've
can
always
think
called
of.
them fatties.
All right, fatties works. I mainly think Red Stripe.
Yeah.
This is the Red Stripe bottle. It's the little dark, kind of like dark brown nub kind of a bottle, if you will. There's something about that that's just very likable. I don't know why, but I like it.
The one time I bought Mickey's, it was completely because of the bottle. I don't know. You give me with like a ridiculous bottle, I'm all aboard.
Well, and with Mickey's, you also got the fun little
Yeah.
riddles under the caps, which are sweet. I haven't had a Mickey's in a while. I used to love doing those.
It was definitely college.
That was a lot of fun. Either way, I digress, man. This is a great beer. Hardywood, a lot of their beers are great. This is one of them. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.5, man. Solid beer. It is a Tropication, juicy hazy IPA, which you'd think, a little bit more warmer weather-esque. This might be more enjoyable. We are fully into fall now at this point, which means those pumpkin beers. We'll do that show, I'm sure, soon. But yeah, it's still nice to have a good beer like this when we still got a little sun and somewhat nicer weather during the day, at least for the time being.
Supposed to get up to 69 on Friday, so
Giggity.
fingers crossed for that. Yeah, I mean this optimization, I mean it's a line drive, probably a single. It's very much so on brand for an India Pale Ale. It's nothing that I would say like this is groundbreaking. They very much kind of stuck to the basics, but 7.1% ABV. It tastes exactly like it's supposed to. It gets a 4.
All
and,
right.
I mean,
I thought you said a single. I thought you were going the other way, but 4 is still a decent score.
It's a utilitarian beer. I think it fills the niche it needs to.
All right, not too shabby at all. That's the first round. I got a few more beers that we will go ahead and give those a whirl after a little ditty. I mean, I know that the sound wasn't great, so let's just play a Greta Van Fleet song that I know will sound good because, it's coming on the radio speakers here or wherever you're listening. So,
well, that depends on the quality of the listener's speakers, though.
That's true. That is fair enough. All right, we'll play that. We'll come back and we'll do a little bit more Brewsday Tuesday action right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.